You're listening to the VTZone.com's weekly Scoutcast. Everything Hokies. And now here's publisher Jason Stamm.
Welcome to another edition of the VTZone.com's Scoutcast. Joined here as I am every week by our main two, Doug Bowman, joining us from Rich Vegas. Doug, how's everything going?
Going pretty well. How's it going with you?
You know, I can't complain too bad. I think I was telling you before we started here, I just had some bull and bones a little while ago, so I'm feeling quite good right now. I'm definitely full. Some pulled pork and sweet potato fries definitely hooked me up. Skip.
Is that a little product placement? What was that?
Well, you know, they did sponsor us. They have been our sponsor for a while now, so I don't know, maybe a little bit. Derrick Skip Hopkins. Skip, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. Driving down the highway and seeing a car flipped over and police racing to it. So it got me amped up a little bit right now, man. I always wanted to be in a cop car when it's like speeding by the highway. I always get excited when I see it. Like they go, phew, phew. I'm like, I want to do that with it. I would never want to do the job, but I always wanted to be in a car when you like speeding through traffic and it's a red light and you just fly through it. It always looks so fun, but I couldn't do the job. But
I was about to say, yeah, but so I guess that'd be one of the perks that comes with it if you were a cop. So
yeah, I couldn't get shot at, but I would definitely want to be in a car on the way somewhere. But I just stopped before I get there and they just let me out, and while they go on to handle the business.
Shot at it, though, man. We don't need like stray bullets flying at you or anything.
Yeah, I know, man. That's why I stopped about 2-3 miles before the bullets that you can just drop me off, and I just go on, and you can go ahead and handle the cop work.
Alright, well, guys, let's get into it here. Got a few things going on this week. I guess one of the main topics, really, that kind of came out earlier in the week. I guess it was an event over the weekend about Bruce Smith, former Hokie great. Anybody knows anything about the Hokies knows about Bruce Smith. He's on. I don't think he's missed a game, at least in the almost 5 years I've been here now. I don't think he's missed one. Always on the sideline, home and away. So, came out this week that he is still in a lot of pain from his playing days. I guess what's it been, Doug? Like 15 years since he's played? It's been quite a while. He's talking about how he's kind of in pain every day and feeling the effects of it. And, I guess, Doug, let's start with you, man. What do you think of when you hear that Bruce Smith? I mean, he's not that old. Was he 53 and he's in all his pain?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely sad, and definitely one of the bigger topics right now with just the sport in general is just the health of players after they stop playing. And he's the guy that played, if you count in college, he played at a high level for like 22 years, which is pretty ridiculous. So yeah, it's sad, but if anything we've learned here over the last few years is you play it that long, it seems like you're going to have some issues, and he's facing them right now. So just hope for the best, and hope that everybody kind of keeps learning about what's going on with how to treat injuries and stuff after the fact.
So Skip, this is one reason I've said this before. This is one of the other times I'm really glad to have you on here. As a former player, you're a few years removed now from playing at Virginia Tech and playing at that high level. But I guess what does it mean for you when you hear somebody like Bruce Smith is having all these issues? And I don't know. I mean, as a former player, does it concern you, or how much does it concern you? I guess.
It concerns me, but you got to just look at the time that he played, and the era that he played in. Besides the injuries and all the stuff like that, if the guy was injury free, came out, stopped playing football without injuries. I mean, it just wear and tear on your body. Those guys did 3 days and out, in the heat and in the summertime, and like just doing 3 days padded practice. Now you got one. You out there 2 hours, and you might have like an hour walkthrough or whatever. But back then, it's 3 actual live practices You know what I'm saying? Each day. It's not like, one day he might do this, might do that. No, it's each day you go out there and hitting each other, banging, and, it's, I mean, I look at it now, it's like, man, that's crazy. I get mad when, go back to Virginia Tech. We doing military drill for a couple. We get 4 plays in military drill, and then in November, and I'm like, why are we hitting so much? And that's only 4 plays. But you go back to back in that time, and you hitting each going live like every practice for pretty much all day. It's just it was just crazy, and the body's not meant to do that much hitting at one time. I'm not saying football is not made for the body, but in the sense of like overdoing it is what's is when your body starts to break down, and then your body starts to break down, and injuries start to occur, and that's when aches start to happen, and all the things like that. So just that era and everything was those guys. Man, you had to be tough back in that time.
That's a really good point, Skip. I mean, everybody, and it is. It's a huge issue, and obviously, I'm speaking from a different perspective than you are. I mean, I haven't played at the college level. I don't know what it's like to, personally be out there playing, but, there is such a big deal about concussions and the health of players. I mean, is that the biggest thing you kind of chalk it up to? Is the era he was in? I mean, I would assume you kind of think it's safer at least to a degree now. Is that right?
Oh, it's way safer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like everything. Like you can go out, as far as say eating, for example. If you eat, Burger King, McDonald's 3 times a day, all day, you're not gonna be the healthiest person. But you know what I'm saying. But if you cut back and say you eat once a day, or so you stop doing it, or you limit yourself to a certain thing, you're gonna be fine over a long period of time. But if you just drown yourself in unhealthy stuff, then your body will be unhealthy. The same with football. If you go on there and treating your body like it's just a piece of meat and just pounding on each other every day and boom, 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 boom. No, it's no break. Then the next day you come back and do it again. Then the next day you come back and do it again. And it's just not good on your body. But nowadays, the way we have everything structured and it's not that much contact. You might have a 2-hour practice at window where you're going and you hitting each other, but it's not like you're going 3 days. You have to practice at 6 in the morning from 6 to 9. You got a 2-hour break and come back at 12. At 12, 12 to 3, get a little break and come back at 6 to 9. Then you got to wake back up at 5 o'clock for practice at 6. If you just think about that schedule, that's a lot. Especially in each what I've heard, and back in the days, it was padded practice every day. It wasn't no walkthrough or shells or nothing like that. It was just you got shoulder pads, helmets, and we going at it every day contact. So I mean, it's just for those guys like that. I mean, and plus you can close back in those times. I think you can like clothesline people. You can like it was just crazy, So me playing the era I did, it was nothing compared to those guys. I mean, those guys, you had to be really, really tough to play in those times because it's just. I look back, I was like, man, I could have did it, but it would have been really tough from the area that I played in.
Yeah.
But to see that he's like feeling pains, and I mean that's what you're going to get when you treat a body like it's just a piece of meat instead of like treating it as like it's your temple, and maintaining it and doing things that recovery. That's the big thing now is recovery. That's you have to have it's just like any sport like boxing. Look, a lot of boxers out here like you fighting 8 times and 12 times in 1 year. And it's like you beating yourself up, and then when you get older, your body starts to you can't recover as fast, and that's why you see other boxers having struggles and doing all this. Bodies you feel the effects of it now, but back then you was like, oh yeah, I'm good, but once the body starts to decay and starts to break down, that's not good. All that pounding and stuff like that. So, yes, I mean it's sad, but it's understandable from what the era that he played in. That I mean, those guys are going to have aches and pains.
Yeah. Well, and that's a good point, Skip. I know I was watching just out of curiosity, honestly, kind of got watching some stuff on Bruce After this came out, and I know there was a thing, I think it was from NFL Films, where he was saying that he loved playing football because it's the only place he knew of where he could kick ass and get paid for it. So I thought that was a pretty good way to look at it. But that just shows part of the toughness I think that he had. The last question I would ask you, Skip, just from your perspective too. As a former player, I think there's a lot made of as we've been talking about the safety of football, and so I guess knowing what you know now, having played through it, if you let's say you don't have children right now, let's say you have a son. If your son wanted to play football down the road, would you let him play football?
Yes. I wouldn't limit my son for not playing a sport that he wants to play just because of it's a certain risk to it's a certain risk to driving down the street. It's just a certain risk in walking down the street. It's a certain risk in doing anything in life. Just like for drive, you get an accident in driving, that's the same impact as playing football. You have the same chance. If you drive every day, you have every day you have a chance of getting an accident. You play football every day, you have a chance of having an injury or what case may be. But if football is taught the proper way, then injuries will happen less, concussions will happen less, and if teams or coaches give players the right amount of time to recover and to heal, so for the body to heal itself, and recover from itself, then things wouldn't be so bad. Because back in the day, it was no time. It was you always hitting, you contact. It's nothing. It's just contact. But if the body is treated right, then the body can recover the right way, and then things won't be as bad. But of course, I'm not saying injuries. You would never have injuries, but yes, of course you can have injuries, but it's not gonna be as severe. Guys won't be 50 years old. Oh, my back. Oh, I can't get out of bed. No, and then also you have to eat right. You have to treat your body the right way as far as eating like the right foods, fruits and vegetables, eating organic foods. You can't eat processed food. You can't be going to Burger King out every day and think your body's gonna feel good. No, you have to eat the right foods. You have to eat. You can't eat fried foods. You have to eat unprocessed food. All that stuff goes into it, having a healthy life and having a healthy lifestyle, and it goes into actually playing a sport. Because you can eat. A lot of people do this, especially in high school. You got to play a game. You go to Burger King and eat a number two double Whopper, and you can go out and play. You think you're good, you full, but your body's like what is going on? Right? Or you going to Burger King and eating a Big Mac?
Yeah, that's bad advice to ever eat. Go eat fast food and then go play. Let's go eat a Whopper.
That's what some guys do. I mean, that's what some guys. That's all they have. That's all you can afford is McDonald's, $5 meal, whatever.
But that's not the Doug Bowman plan, though, is it?
I mean, if you're gonna get a double Whopper, you might as well get the double Whopper with cheese.
Yeah, add the cheese. Why not? If you're already going that far, might as well go with the cheese.
Rather like pasteurized processed cheese.
But so the better you eat, and the better you recover from. The better you eat, and the better, but you take care of your body, then the less likely you're gonna have aches and pains in the long run.
Yeah.
But I think that's the biggest thing, especially even nowadays, because the players, even in the NFL, they don't really eat organic food. It's more, what I'm saying? It's more, still processed food or, different like GMOs and all that stuff is still in the food. So, you eating baked chicken, but you eating steroid baked chicken, or you eating, stuff that's sprayed and all the stuff like that. It's still, it's better than eating fried foods, but at the same time, it's not as good as eating organic, fresh food. So that's the next step in, as far as recovery is getting fresh, organic food that people can eat instead of the processed and steroid up stuff that people eat. So, organic is the best way to go, especially for recovery and getting the body right. But if I had a son, no, I would definitely. I would teach him. I would teach him the right way to play the game, and then because for myself, this is my last thing. For myself, I've been playing football since I was 5 years old. I never had a concussion. I never, of course I had injuries like ankles, and I never had surgery, but I was also blessed. But I was taught the right way to play the game. As a young guy, I had a Coach Willie. He taught me how to tackle, how to just play the game the right way. And ever since then, I never had a concussion. I never, I always had my head up. I always wrapped up. You know what I'm saying? I never just went out just boom. Like, no, I was taught, head across the body, boom, wrap up, roll. That's how I was taught, to play the game. So if football was taught the right way, then things wouldn't be as bad as it is. But that's my spiel. I'm done with that.
Skip spiel is done. I know, Skip. That's a long-winded answer, man. I was
I know,
I was kind of
man.
impressed you kept your breath through that. It was like a 5-minute answer.
I know, man, because people look at it's like all this. Oh, you shouldn't play football. You're not meant to play football. Well, you ain't meant to eat fried chicken neither, but you do. Um, but no, it's just people, look at all the stuff that's happening and all the information and all the stuff like that, and don't look at all the facts and look at, it's for all the people that play football. They look at a certain percentage of the guys that say happen to have concussions or whatever the case may be. That's not all the players. That's not all the guys that's playing football. That's a certain percentage of a big group that actually has played or played it. And football, I mean, I'm still going on, but football is like it. I'm sorry, but it's just, I'm just pouring out what I've been thinking about.
I know this is turned into like the Skipcast.
But I say it's like football, like it transforms people. It matures guys. It brings the best out of guys. Guys would like Bruce Smith said is guys who might not saying Bruce Smith had a temper, but guys who had anger issues, they can go on the football field and take it out, and instead of taking it out on somebody on the street or robbing somebody, they turn the football and take that energy that is used for the street or for bad doing and translate it to football and end up going on doing great things. So it's not just it's contact, yeah, but it also helps people develop, grow, and become better men at the same time. So yeah,
All
back
right,
to the
Doug.
next topic.
It's gonna be hard to follow that. I'll be honest, but let's move on. I want to get your take, Doug, on, and we'll come back to Skip. But Cornell Brown was named the co-defensive coordinator at Norfolk State. I was honestly, I have gotten to know Cornell pretty well over the last couple of years, and I mean, I don't think he minds me sharing it. I was just talking to him over the weekend, and he was telling me even then he thought that he had a friend of his that does like a scouting service, and he was gonna maybe take a job with him and kind of coordinating with media. So he's gone from that less than a week ago to now being co-defensive coordinator. I mean, this one literally, I think, popped up, and he just got to be the guy for the job. So what do you think about Cornell Brown at Norfolk State?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good fit for him, and I mean, obviously I think he kind of got screwed with his responsibilities and how things broke at Virginia Tech. He got handed this position coach that he was, he was the whips coach, and Virginia Tech doesn't have one of those really anymore. So he didn't really have any position to coach and make an impact with, and they kind of threw him. He never made the impact that on the recruiting trail that he wanted to. But now he gets to go to Norfolk State. The stakes are a bit lower there, and he gets to coordinate a defense, and he'll be right smack in the middle of the 757, which is where he can kind of really settle in and develop as a recruiter. I think he's still got a really bright future as a coach, obviously, based on his playing background and the reputation he has at Virginia and all that. So I think it's a good fit. I mean, I think coming from where he came from the CFL and without much experience in college, going right to the ACC level was probably a stretch, and but I'm sure he learned a lot, and now he gets to go back and coordinate a defense and recruit kind of in the 757 and really start to get going, I think, on what could be a really good coaching career.
Yeah, I personally think it's a very, very good fit for him. I think that's good for him. He's a Virginia guy. He played at Tech. He recruited the peninsula right there in the Tidewater area for Virginia Tech, so he's plenty familiar with the area. Co-defensive coordinator, I know obviously Norfolk State's it's a little bit of a step down from Virginia Tech as far as the level of football, but co-defensive coordinator position obviously is a step up. So I'm really happy for him. I think he's a very deserving guy. I think that's a good point, Doug, that he did kind of he's caught a lot of flack, some of it warranted. I think a lot of it unwarranted because of his position and everything he was as far as role stuff. But Skip,
Yeah,
go ahead, Doug.
I just want to say he was the whips coach, and like Virginia Tech's #1 whip for the last few years was Ronnie Van Dyke, and Ronnie Van Dyke never came off the injury report. So, there wasn't really much to. And then Bud Foster's playing the nickel all the time now, and things like that. So, he didn't make the impact coaching position players as much as people thought he did, and I think that's as much as the scheme changed as anything.
Well, Skip, give me. I'm not trying to throw shade, but give me a less long-winded answer this time. What do you think about Cornell going to Norfolk State?
No, I think it's a good move for Coach, man, to get it's a step down from divisions, but it's also a step up as far as he's moved to co-defense coordinator, so he's on the right track to becoming, I guess, what he wants to be, the entry coordinator or what the case may be. So I think it's a good move. And Norfolk State is really blessed to have him because he's very knowledgeable, has a lot of experience, and he learned from the best from Coach Foster. So they're getting a good coach, man.
Well, yeah, like I said, I'm really happy for Cornell. I think he's going to do very well there, and I think it was maybe Thomas Gary that put out a tweet. I think he's exactly right. Norfolk State they definitely got better by hiring Cornell Brown, so I think a very good move there. All right, Doug, I wanted to. I've been promoting your piece from the weekend. I think it's really good, and we talked about it. You're going to do some more of these, looking back at recruiting classes. I'll be interested when you get to a few classes ahead when you're looking at a young Derrick Hopkins, what you think. But you started out with the 2006 class on offense. I guess you'll do defense next, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Before you've done that, I'm guessing you probably haven't looked back at the 2006 class in a while. So when you look back at that class, what did you really learn in revisiting some of these names? Because a lot of these guys either didn't pan out or didn't even make it to Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. It was kind of a wishy-washy class. I mean, that's the Cam Chancellor class now, looking back at it. I mean, that was the two-star quarterback athlete that they turned into. It's now one of the best defensive backs in the world. So that's obviously the big story of that class. But I mean, that was a class 2006. They were coming off. I guess that had to be. That was after the 2005 season, right?
Yeah, because this class would have signed in February 2006.
Right, so that was right after that. I mean, if you remember the 2005 season, that was the year they had the big Miami game, and Marcus Vick imploded and turned the ball over 6 times, and that basically set the tone for the recruiting class. So you had guys. I mean, Aaron Brown was a huge offensive line recruit for him out of Ohio. Right out of the Big Ten's backyard, and the Big Ten produces offensive linemen left and right, and he was a highly rated guy, from Ohio, and he committed and never really panned out at all. And I think that was the story with a lot of guys. Like Todd Nolan was another one, a talented wide receiver that just never qualified. They took a couple reaches, I think, guys like Douglas McNeil and things like that. So, but obviously the story there is Cam Chancellor and how he went from a 2-star athlete quarterback kind of guy to what he is today.
Well, and I think you're exactly right in your kind of breakdown too, Doug, with Cam. I mean, you look back and you say, oh, he should have been 5-star recruit, but he really wasn't. I mean, he was a string bean. If you look back at him, I mean, he was a quarterback, 6'4", 215. He was pretty thin. I don't think he even, I think to your point too, he really developed and really kind of peaked after he left Virginia Tech. It was like, second year with Seattle?
Yeah, I mean, he came to Tech and he played corner his first year, as so many guys have under Torian Gray. He's just played right away as a true freshman at corner, and then he kind of moved to Rover, and then his last year's free safety, and obviously he's back as strong safety in the NFL. I think actually kind of getting all those experiences, playing corner, playing rover, playing free safety, and now he's back in the NFL. Really probably helps him now. I mean, but I don't think he reached his athletic peak until, probably he jumped over the line of scrimmage blocking field goals twice in a row for the Seahawks or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think Virginia Tech got him, and he played really well for him. He had a great career for him, but, looking at him now in the NFL, you would think he was a 5-star in college at the end of the day, but he was probably just a step below that. And then, when he got to the NFL, and that's when things really clicked for him.
Well, and honestly, Doug, I mean, I'll be excited when you get to the defensive side of the ball. You already talked about Cam since he entered as a quarterback, but defensive side of the ball, you had Jason. At the time, he was Jason Adjepong, ended up being Jason Worlds, was in that class. John Graves, who, I think had a pretty solid career, but
those are two that.
What would you have to say about Jason Worlds?
Yeah, Worlds and Graves. I mean, those are two guys that were highly rated by everybody, and that was appropriate because they both. I mean, Graves and Worlds anchored that defensive line for basically their entire career.
Well, and like I said, I'll be interested when you get a few classes down the line and you can give your observations on a young Derrick Hopkins.
5 stars.
5-star, I wish. Wasn't even close. Guys didn't like me much, I guess. Underrated.
That's because you blossomed when you got to Tech, Skip.
Underrated short guy.
Keep talking. I need something to write.
Hey, Doug, man, you should have a lot to write about me, man.
I'm going to write like 10 paragraphs. It's going to be the entire article. Game by game.
I mean, Skip gives you a lot of material on the podcast to work with, though, Doug. So, I mean, when you get to that class...
Yeah, man. My class is interesting, though, man. We had a lot of guys that, we just, they came or either left or got kicked out. So, yeah, we should be interested for my year.
So, Doug, on the basketball side this week, I want to get to... Now, it hasn't been officially announced by Virginia Tech, but it's been reported... I know CBS reported. I think everybody else is just kind of piggybacking on CBS's report because I don't think anybody else has anything original. So CBS reported Ty Outlaw and Ahmed Hill have reportedly been cleared to play this season or this coming fall. I think Ahmed Hill was already about there anyway. I know Ty Outlaw was kind of the surprise, but if that is 100% true, what does that mean to get both of those guys back?
I mean, that's huge. Those are two guys. I mean, Ahmed Hill was going to be a starter this year, and that's probably, you talk about whether it's true. I mean, I think it's definitely true, and I think that's the primary reason Jalen Hudson transferred. I mean, they already didn't have enough minutes for Devin Wilson, and trying to get Hudson and then Ahmed Hill, who probably, if he played this year, he's going to get starters minutes, which is 30 minutes a game, and then Outlaw too. Everything we've heard on Outlaw is that he's got starting ability too. So those are two wing players to add to Justin Robinson and Seth Allen and Justin Bibbs, and Chris Clark can probably play on the perimeter, and I mean that's a team that's getting deep and pretty talented. I mean, I think you're seeing them on the outskirts of the top 25 right now, so definitely positive news, which is weird. Most injury news with Virginia Tech basketball is just awful. So
it's true.
It's weird
at this point.
Weird to get medical clearances. I mean, I would have been surprised if Ahmed Hill never played again.
Yeah. Skip, being our basketball analyst, man, what do you think about getting those guys back?
I think it's good, man. I think Doug said it all. He had a good analysis of it. I've already talked a lot, so Doug's a good analyst, man. So I go with Doug said on this one.
It's good enough. That works. Doug, let me get your thoughts too. Then you can start football or basketball, but did want to mention that the new Scout rankings are out this week. For football, that would be the Scout 300, and for basketball, the Scout 100. Good news for Virginia Tech. 2 commits, 1 on each side, have both risen in the rankings. 2017 for football, you've got Taiwan Garbett that's now in the Scout 300. I have it right in front of me. I believe he's like 238 in the country. And then you've got Nikhil Alexander Walker on the basketball side. Went up. He was already in the Scout 100. He was at 75. Now he's bumped up to 68. So looking pretty good. I know Hendon Hooker did lose a star, but I was honestly kind of surprised he had a 4-star to begin with. So I don't know. Any takeaways from the new rankings at all?
Yeah, I mean, you talked about Garbett. He's during the top 300, I guess, and that position, a defensive position that Virginia Tech's been so desperate to kind of hit their primary targets on for so many years, and they're kind of playing catch up at defensive end. So anytime any news with a highly rated defensive end that's Virginia Tech is good. We talked about Alexander Walker on the basketball.
Doug, we're kind of missing you there, man. I'm going to cut you off because we're getting a little. I don't know if it's your end or Skip's end, but we're getting. It sounds like just a car driving here. It sounds more like is somebody hitting the gas?
Not on my end, but I hear it.
Skip's probably flooring it on his end. Is my guess.
No, I'm not flooring it, man. Just go about 40 miles an hour right now.
He talked about the cop going through the light earlier. I think that's what he's doing right now.
Nah, man, I wish, man. I'm just driving my 40 miles per hour. That's about it.
All right, Doug. Let's try it again, man. Let's just kind of. I think
I'll jump back. I'll go quick.
Right.
Garbage defensive end. Virginia Tech misses on many of their top defensive ends. So any good news with a highly rated, committed to Virginia Tech defensive end is big time because they're playing catch up at that position. Alexander Walker, Mr. Hyphenated name, going to be a star. I mean, obviously, he seems like a classic Buzz Williams, and Buzz Williams is getting Virginia Tech involved with highly rated guys. Just about every class now, he's been pulling in pretty highly rated guys. So, we talked about Virginia Tech on the outskirts of the top 25, and I think that's probably because Buzz Williams is recruiting really good players, and Alexander Walker's obviously another one.
Yeah, and just to kind of finish out here, I want to talk just real quick. We do have a lot of camps coming up. We're actually right in the middle of camps. Virginia Tech started their first satellite camp, so their first camp of the summer on Wednesday down in Atlanta. We were not privy to be there. Obviously, it's a little much of a drive to be there. I heard there at least there were a couple of standouts that I'll post here in a little bit on the board. I see also there's for everybody listening here on Friday, there's a camp today in New Jersey, satellite camp. So, not too many big guys there. We won't be covering that, but we'll kind of keep an ear out and check in, see who all perform there. We will be at, Max will be at the camp this weekend at Virginia Tech. That would be Saturday and Sunday, so we'll have tons of coverage coming from that. I will be at the 757 camp along with our Michael Clark, analyst for Scout. We'll be there at Kellum High School on Tuesday, and then back to UVA on Wednesday for the annual NBA Players Association camp. That one should be big. We've also gotten a better feel for who Virginia Tech's looking at in the next 2 classes, so we'll be going over some of that in the next War Room, but lots to really cover with that, who they're going over, who they're looking at. I guess we'll finish up with some shout outs. Doug, who's your shout out going to this week?
Shoot. I always forget about these things.
You don't want to get roasted by Skip, so you need to start us off strong.
I know, I got to come up with something good.
Because we know Skip will roast you if you don't.
Yeah, you should go first though again, because I need time.
I should go first. Man, I'm like grabbing the torch with this one, huh?
Yeah, go ahead. I want to hear it. Give me something good.
I guess, I'm going to have to give my shout out to, because the Stanley Cup and NBA Finals aren't done yet, it's hard to really give a shout out there, because we don't know how that's going to finish. I'm going to have to give my shout out to the 2 guys who went up in the rankings. There's Taiwan Garbett and Nikhil Alexander Walker, especially Taiwan. He's had a really good spring. Very impressive recruit. I think he was number 2 recruit they've had in the class. At least the second guy to commit. So he's only jumped up as far as where he's kind of looked at nationally, and that's only going to help Virginia Tech going forward in a lot of different ways. Doug, did I give you time to think of one?
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out Buzz Williams because we were talking about basketball and kind of the players he's getting, and I just think Virginia Tech is going to be really good at basketball next year, and all because of what he's done in 2 short years here. So, shout out to Buzz, a little June love for the basketball guys.
Well, I will say with Buzz, I've got to get a shout out to him. I saw he took his wife to the Palms in Vegas. It's where we had our scout convention last month. So I know exactly where he took her there, the restaurant. But, man, that's classing it up, man. Anniversary dinner, go to the Palms, go to the nice steakhouse.
Hey, he's got a good contract. So.
That's true. He can do that. Skip, who's your shout out to?
Shout out to Derrick Hopkins lineman clinic that's coming up in June, man.
Oh, there you go. Shameless plug.
Derrick Hopkins is a great guy, man. He's got a lot of experience. And he's D lineman that played in the college and NFL. So I think he has 2 clinics coming up, June 23rd and 24th, and July 7th and 8th. You got any high school guys, or I think he said 8th grade and up. So if you got any guys that think they might be interested, you should go out to his camp, man. It's a good look. He's gonna go through a lot of stuff, get back to the fundamentals of everything. So, yeah, man, if you know somebody that's interested, man, give him a contact and then register for this camp. He's a great guy.
Of course. I like Skip talking about it. It's the word on the street here with the Derrick Hopkins camp. All the talk on the street. Everybody talking about Derrick Hopkins. So I got to ask, Doug, are you going to report from the camp?
What, the Derrick Hopkins camp?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought I was going to either participate or coach.
Yeah, man, I told Doug, I mean, he can come on out. I think the age limit is 8th grade and to 12th grade, but if he want to comes out, he can sneak in there, and I'll get upcharge him 100 family upcharge.
That's fair.
It's usually a really discount though, Skip. What are you going with the family upcharge for?
I know, man, but
being family.
all families are different, so.
Hey, we're out here trying to make that paper, and
Doug's got a good contract too, so.
Yeah, great contract.
I think he's good for the 100, man. So.
So he can give you like an IOU, I guess, and get in.
No, I don't accept IOUs. I accept cash.
Me and
or cashier's check only.
Skip and I'll do a little Oklahoma drill and see what.
Oh wow! See, Doug, we were just talking about pains and stuff. I don't want to hit you and you start to have pains and stuff like that. So I think we use some wisdom here and not do Oklahoma drill.
We can do we won't do Oklahoma drill as long as I can go to like Hardee's or something afterwards.
All right, that's good. Hardee's actually has good chicken tenders, man. You should try them out, man.
So Hardee's good, Burger King bad.
No, I didn't say Burger King was bad. I just said just don't eat Burger King every day.
Right.
Don't eat double Whoppers like 5 times a day. That's like, if you want to eat them maybe once a month or once every couple of weeks, I mean, I can't tell you not to do that. I mean, it's it's your choice, but don't eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner snack. And you have a snack at night. No, that's terrible for you.
Some Hardee's chicken dinners up.
Yeah, no, I actually tried them the other day. I mean, I was hungry, and that was the only thing that was near. And I tried them. I was like, wow, these are actually pretty good.
All right, thank you for listening to the VT Zone Scoutcast. This Scoutcast was brought to you by Hardee's and Bowling Bones.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good segue, Doug. For Doug Bowman, Derrick Skip Hopkins, and the word on the street with Derrick Hopkins Camp. I'm Jason Stamm. Thank you for listening to another VT Zone Scoutcast, and check us back here next week.